গুরুদেব বড় কৃপা করি গৌরবান মার গরুমে দিয়াছ স্থান গরুমে দিয়াছ স্থান গরুমে দিয়াছ স্থান जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण को गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी की जय। गंगा मई की जय। जमुना मई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। समवेता भक्तवृंद की जय। टेकिंग ओवर द वर्ल्ड श्री प्रभुपाद ट्रांसलेशन बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। चारों देश प्रभु 2023 मैराथन की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale. Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swamiti Namne. Anyone would devotees like to? I would like to use the book so someone can scroll. Mine's already airplane. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 8, text number 29. This is the last verse of this chapter, and the chapter's title is Questions by King Parikshit. Yat Parikshit Rishabham Pandunam Anupritchati Anupurvyena Tat Sarvam Akhyatum Upachakrame Yat Parikshit Rishabham Pandunam Anupritchati Anupurvyena tat sarvam Akhyatum upachakrame Yat Parikshit Rishabha Pandunam Anupritchati Anupurvyena tat sarvam Akhyatum upachakrame Yat Parikshit Rishabha Pandunam Anupritchati Anupurvyena tat sarvam Akhyatum upachakrame Yat Parikshit Rishabha Pandunam Anupritchati Anupurvyena tat sarvam Akhyatum upachakrame. Please repeat. Pandunam Anupritchati.
This is what I was drinking. I can't really handle it. This is very good for you.
I'll try that.
Yat Parikshit Vrishabha Pandunam Anupritchati Anupurvyena Tatsarvam Akhyatum Upachakrame
Yat Parikshit Rishabha Pandunam Anupritchati Anupurvyena Tatsarvam Akhyatum Upachakrame.
Yadyat Parikshit Rishabha
Pandunam anupritchati
Pandunam Anupritchati
Purvyena tatsarvam
Anupurvyena Tatsarvam
Akyatam upachakrame
Akyatam Upachakrame Yadyat Parikshit Rishabha Namanupritchati Purvyena Tatsarvam Akyatam Upachakrame. Mataji's, please. Yadyat Parikshit Rishabha Pandunam Anupritchati Anukulyena Tatsarvam Akyatam Upachakrame. Parikshit Rishabha Namanupritchati Anukulyena Tatsarvam Kyatum Upachakrame. Okay. Anyone else want to try? Any other initiated devotee in the room? Yadyat Parikshit Rishabha
Pandunam anupritchati Anupurvyena tatsarvam
Is your phone?
Akyatam upachakrame
Okay. So, Yadyat whatsoever. Parikshit, the king. Rishabha, the best. Pandunam, in the dynasty of Pandu. Anupritchati, goes on inquiring. Anupurvyena, the beginning to the end. Tat, all those. Sarvam, fully. Akyatum, to describe. Upachakrame, he prepared himself. He just prepared himself. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. He also prepared himself to reply to all that King Parikshit had inquired from him. Maharaj Parikshit was the best in the dynasty of the Pandus, and thus he was able to ask the right questions from the right person. Prabhupada. Maharaj Parikshit asked many questions, some of them very curiously, to know things as they are, but it is not necessary for the master to answer them in the order of the disciples' inquiries, one after the other. But Shukadev Goswami, experienced teacher that he was, answered all the questions in a systematic way, as they were received from the chain of disciplic succession, and he answered all of them without exception. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the second canto, 8th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Questions by King Parikshit. Om Agyana Timiranthasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utafpada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishamamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sagana Raghunathan Matam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakan Vatamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sandubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishamebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swaminati Namine Harijanagana Bari Gnana Karmanda Hari Prakatita Parabhaktir Bhakti Siddhanta Kantihi Vinayanikara Lakshmir Nimna Medera Gamyo Bhuvijayati Vikaso Bhakti Purvo Yatindraha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminati Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prasharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham karti vachalam pangum langayate grim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vagishaya Sivadane Lakshmi Yasya Vakshise Yasyasya Hridaye Samvitam Nrsimhamaham Bhaje Yashadevi Parabhaktir Devi Tata Guru Tasyate Katita Hyata Prakashante Mahatmanaha. So this purport that we are reading over here, Srila Prabhupada is speaking about how the bona fide spiritual master, he answers the questions of the disciple just the way he had heard it from the disciplic succession. So this is a very important thing to understand, that whatever we hear, whatever we know, it is meant for us to hear from the disciplic succession. That is a proper way of understanding things. That's why, what is this thing called? Like the epistemology. How do you know what you know? So our epistemology is Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. That's where we know everything we know. That's where we know everything from. And everything that is need to be known in this world is already there in the Vedas. Everything is already there. The knowledge of weapons, the knowledge of all these things. I remember I was one time reading this quote of Srila Prabhupada, where he said that during the World War II there was these Hitler had actually sent some of his men to India to meet the Brahmanas. And then from there, they actually got a section of the Vedas, to see how to create like flying missiles or something, like some crazy weapon. Huh? What do you say, Prabhuji? Submarines, yeah, submarines or some crazy, huh? No, submarines. Anyway, some section of the, I don't want to get into your conspiracy theory bhav here, but, I'm just saying, Prabhupada said this, that like, they paid around 5 lakh of rupees in 1930 something. So that's 500,000. Even today, 5 lakh rupees is a lot, right? You could probably buy a car with 5 lakh rupees, right? A car. I mean, it's like, that's pretty expensive, right? Just like our truck is like $85,000, so it's like, like a car you can buy with 5 lakh. So back in 1930, they spent so much money to get knowledge from the Vedas, So everything you need to know about how to live in this material world and how to get out of this material world is all there in the Vedas. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. And it gives us the most important thing that we need, and which is love of Krishna. And if we have love of Krishna, to hell with the material world. Who cares about anything else in this material world? But still, the Vedas give us a proper description as to how to live in this material world, how to get out of this material world. And teaches us how to perform sacrifice. So when we perform sacrifice, all our needs will be fulfilled. Was it? Be thou happy by the sacrifice. This is in 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, right? What's the verse number? And like in Mitravan, like he's supposed to know everything because he's helping my Guru Maharaj edit his books. Where is that? Be thou happy by the sacrifice.
No, that's chapter 3.
Chapter 3? Oh yeah, it has to be chapter 3, yes. Huh? Trying to pull up that verse. Ishtan Bogan Hivo Deva. Is this it? Okay, yeah. Saha yagya prajashishtva purvo vacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam esho vas ishtakamaduk. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna sacrifice, because by its performance it will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation." So the Vedas give us this knowledge as to how we can, survive in this world, properly, and we can also attain liberation, attain freedom from this material world. So over here we're seeing that Parikshit Maharaj puts forward so many questions. He put forward so many questions. And Shukadeva Goswami answers them just like the way he had heard from the disciplic succession. And the Shukadeva Goswami being a bona fide disciple, and and if you're a bona fide disciple, then you'll be a bona fide guru. So him being a bona fide disciple, and of him of course being a bona fide guru, was able to break down the highest knowledge of the absolute truth. And if we read in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that there's qualifications, for a bona fide disciple, like what are the qualifications for a person to receive transcendental knowledge? We read from the Bhagavad Gita, what's the famous verse? That's right. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanana sattvadarshinaha. Then, just approach a bona fide spiritual master in a humble state of mind and surrender completely unto him and render service unto him and ask relevant questions. By doing, you should approach such a person because he has seen the absolute truth. And we also see in the Srimad Bhagavatam the qualifications of a bona fide disciple is Vetatvam Shomya Tat Sarvam Tatvata Sad Anugrahat Pruhyu Snigdasya Shishyasya Guruvo Guhyam Apyutaha. That we see this. And because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them. And, Srila Prabhupada, in his purpose, he mentions quite a few times the secret of success, the secret of success, the secret of success. And the majority of the time, every time Prabhupada says a secret, what is the secret of success in spiritual life? What's the secret of success? What do you say? Following the order of the Spirit. Is every morning, what do we chant? Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado yasya prasadan nagati kutopi. Dhyayan suvam satya yashashri sandhyam vande guru shri charanaravindam. So Prabhupada writes here, the secret of success in spiritual life is in satisfying the spiritual master and thereby getting his sincere blessings. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has sung in his famous 8 stanzas on the spiritual master as follows. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Only by his satisfaction can one please the personality of Godhead, and when he is dissatisfied, there is only havoc on the path of spiritual realization. It is essential, therefore, that a disciple be very much obedient and submissive to the bona fide spiritual master. Srila Suta Goswami fulfilled all these qualifications as a disciple, and therefore he was endowed with all the favors by his learned and self-realized spiritual masters, such as Srila Vyasadeva and others. The sages of Naimisharanya were confident that Srila Suta Goswami was bona fide, therefore they were very anxious to hear from him. And it's very amazing how the sages of Naimisharanya, even they refer to Suta Goswami. They say, Suta Janasi Badram Te Rishaya Uchu. Where is this? I'm looking for this other verse. Naimishi Nimisha Shetre Rishaya Shonakadaya. Satram Svargaya Loka Sahasra Sahasra Samamasata. Once in a holy place. I'm looking for this. If 117 is in? No, Suta Janasi Bhadram Te, it starts off with that. Okay, I'll find it, but there's this verse after this also, which is very appropriate. Tatra Tatranjaya Ayushman Bhavata Yad Vinishitam Pumsam Ekan Tata Shreyas Tanna Shamshitum Arhasi. Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for people in general. 1112, okay. Suta Janasi Bhadram Te. Suta Janasi Bhadram Te Bhagavan Sattvatam Patihi Devakyam Vasudevasya Jato Yasya Chikirshaya. This word is very amazing over here actually. Chikirshaya. Chikirshaya comes from the word chikitsa. Chikitsa means, a doctor, a medicine to cure the disease. So they're asking Srila Suta Goswami to be the doctor that's going to cure the disease of material existence. And what is his qualification? What is Suta Goswami's qualification? Suta Goswami's qualification is that he's listening to we just said, Vitatam Shamitat Sarvam, Tatvata Sad Anugrahat, Bruhyu Snigdasya Shishyasya, Guruvo Guhyam Apyuta. That, the qualification of Suta Goswami is that he is humble and submissive and a gentle disciple to his spiritual master. And because he is like this, he has received this medicine which can cure the ultimate disease of the living entity. And this translation Srila Prabhupada gives here is very amazing. All blessings to you upon you, O Suta Goswami. You know for what purpose the personality of Godhead appeared in the womb of Devaki as a son of Vasudeva. You see? We see this also in the fifth chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto of the 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. These verses are there where Narada Muni is speaking about the importance of speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam and the bona fide message. I'm looking for this. Where is that? This is okay. Shri Narada Vacha. Okay. Yata. Okay. Okay. There you go. Ato Mahabhaga Bhavan Amogadrik. Shuchi Shrava Satya Ratordhita Vrataha. Urukramasya Khilabhanda Muktaye Samadhinu Nusmara Tad Vicheshtitam. O Vyasadev, your vision is completely perfect. Your good fame is spotless. You are firm in vow and situated in truthfulness. And thus you can think of the pastimes of the Lord in trance for the liberation of the people in general from all material bondage. Then, he says, whatever you desire to describe that is separate in the vision from the Lord simply reacts with different forms, names, and results to agitate the mind as the wind agitates a boat which has no resting place. So we can see this, that Veda Vyas, he's the compiler of the Vedas. He compiled the 4 Vedas and he was not satisfied. He compiled everything else, he was not satisfied. He compiled the Mahabharata, which is meant for the deliverance of the living entities, which is meant for the Stri and Dvija Bandhunam and Shudras and Vaishya, the lower class people. He was still not satisfied. Therefore, Narada Muni, what's he saying here? Jugupsitam. What you have done is actually going to create a big disturbance within the minds of everyone else. Therefore, what is the order that Narada Muni? There you go. Jugupsitam dharma krite nusha sataha swabhava raktasya mahan vyatikrama yadvakyato dharma iti tarah sthito namanyate tasya nivaranam janaha. The people in general are naturally inclined to enjoy, and you have encouraged them in that way in the name of religion. This is verily condemned, and it is quite unreasonable. Because they are guided under your instructions, they will accept such activities in the name of religion and will hardly care for prohibitions. And we can see this, that seeing this today because of people not hearing the message of Shastra and a bona fide disciplic succession. The Hindus, my Guru Maharaj, he gives this very amazing definition of Hinduism. What is Hinduism? Is a very elaborate Vedic excuse to avoid surrender to Krishna. It's a very elaborate Vedic excuse to avoid surrender to Krishna. So then, where is this? Okay, Supreme Lord is unlimited. Tyaktva sadharmam charanam bhujam harer bhajana pakpo pate tato yadi yatra ka va bhadram abhud amushakim ko varta apto bhajatam swadharmataha. One who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage, yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. This is a very famous verse. Tasyaiva heto prayate ko vido nalabhyate yad brahmatam uparyadaha tallabhyate dukavad anyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira ramhasa. Persons who are actually intelligent. This is pertaining to the statement in the verse that Srila Prabhupada made. That because he's repeating the message only that he has heard, the bona fide disciplic succession. Persons who are intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in the course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. And then I'm looking for this particular verse. Where is this? Okay. Idam hi vishwam bhagavan ivetaro yato jagatsthana nirodha sambhavaha tadhi swayam veda bhavam satapite pradesha matram bhavata pradarshitam. Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, is himself this cosmos and still he is aloof from it. From him only has this cosmic manifestation emanated. In him it rests. Unto him it enters after annihilation. Your good self knows all about this. I have given you only a synopsis. So you can see that this question, one of these questions that Parikshit Maharaj is asking about knowing things as they are in this material world. Where do these things come from? Where do they go? What happens to the living entities? Parikshit Maharaj is asking so many questions. All these are already answered by Narada Muni in a seed form to Veda Vyas. And Veda Vyas takes it and expands upon it and gives it to Shukadeva Goswami. And Shukadeva Goswami receives that same seed, expands upon it, and gives it to Sutta Goswami. And hence the disciplic succession keeps going on. And the sweetness of the fruit of the Srimad Bhagavatam increases all the way into the purpose of Srila Prabhupada. And the purpose of the faithful followers of Srila Prabhupada on Prabhupada's purpose. These are very amazing. It's a very amazing thing to see. So the same thing, you can see, the exact same thing, the question that Parikshit Maharaj is actually asking Shukadeva Goswami is answered right here. Okay, yeah. All right. These series of verses are very amazing, actually. Tvam atmanatmanam avehya mogadrik. See, amogadrik, again, it just came in the previous verse. Parasya pumsaf paramatmana kalam ajam prajatam jagatah shivayatan mahanubhava yudayo diganyatam. Your goodness has perfect vision. You yourself can know the Supreme Personality of Godhead because you are present as a plenary portion of the Lord. Although you are birthless, you have appeared on this earth for the well-being of all people. Please therefore describe the transcendental pastimes of the Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, more vividly. You should understand this. Jiver Nishara Lagi Sutra Kala Vyas. That Veda Vyas compiled the Vedanta Sutra for what reason? For the deliverance of the conditioned souls. Jivera Nishtar Lagi. Sutra Kaila Vyas. He compiled this in a bona fide disciplic succession for the deliverance of the conditioned souls. So what is our duty? Mayavadi Bhashashinlai Hai Sarvanash. Our duty is to avoid all commentaries which are against the bona fide establishment, bona fide conclusions established by the bona fide disciplic succession. Because any conclusion which is not according to the bona fide disciplic succession will have a tinge of what in it? Definitely. Definitely will have a tinge of Mayavad. Any conclusion, they may be pious Hindus, they may be doing all this and doing all that, but there's always going to be a tinge of Mayavad. There's always going to be a tinge of Mayavad. Whatever we see, you can see so many Hindus, they'll have so many opinions, and they may seem like it's going right, and then some Mayavad comes in, and then it's like throwing sand in the sweet rice. It's completely useless. We cannot accept anything from them. They may be very pious, they may be very religious, they may be very submissive, and all these things. But hearing the philosophy from them, we cannot do. Why? Because they're not receiving the knowledge in a bona fide disciplic succession. Then, Narada Muni, idam hi pumsas tapasa shrutasya va svishtasya suktasya cha buddhi dattayo avichuturtha kavibhir nirupito yad uttama shloka gunanu varnanam. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of advancement of knowledge, namely austerity, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns, and charity culminates in the transcendental descriptions of Lord who is defined in choice poetry. So we can understand here that this is actually the ultimate solution for all the problems that the living entity faces. And what is the greatest enemy of a living entity? What is the greatest enemy of a devotee? Yes, that's there. The mind, yes, the mind, okay. But what does the mind do? What does it create that causes hindrance in devotional service? Like Krishna speaks about this, Yes, all that is there, but something is created for us to not have complete faith. Precisely, samshaya. And if you read the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks about this samshaya so much. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Maya Sakta Manaf Partha, Yogam Yunja Madashaya, Asamshayam Samagram Mam, Yata Gyasati Tatshuno. Krishna again says in the Bhagavad Gita in another place, this, I really like this verse in the Bhagavad Gita. It is almost in the end of the chapter where, I'm going to come to this. Where is that? Yeah, is it? Yeah, this is the one I'm looking for. Agyasya shatadhanascha samshayatma vinashyati. Nayam loko paro na sukham samshayatmanaha. This is a very, very, very important verse for us to know. It's a very important verse for us to know. It's very important for us to meditate upon this verse. But ignorant and faithless persons who doubt revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. For the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. Isn't that crazy? For the doubting soul, there's no happiness in the why? Because you doubt everything. You just doubt everything. You can't put your faith in anything. You can't put your faith in anything completely. You put your faith a little bit here, you put your faith a little bit there, and then you can't enjoy like the karmis enjoy because you don't have complete faith in what the karmis do. You can't completely liberate yourself either. You can't put yourself completely in what the karma kandya, if you want to just trying to enjoy this, you can't put your faith. And then the worst of it all, you can't put your faith in devotional service and what the Shastra is saying and what the devotees is saying. And when this happens, we have no hope. We have no hope. Because, the means of liberation which Krishna has given us, we are not accepting it. And because we're not accepting it, we are ruined. Completely ruined. This is really. Shraddhaval labhate jnanam tatpara samatendriyaha. Jnanam labdhva param shantim ashirenadhikachyate. A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved it, he quickly attains a supreme spiritual peace. You see? What a contrast, huh? Krishna is speaking about what happens when we have complete faith and we keep it completely in the process of devotional service as we received in the bona fide disciplic succession. And what happens when we don't do such a thing. What happens? What are the two things which happen? When we do this, and we can attain the supreme, you can completely attain transcendental happiness right here. There's no, it depends so much. And Krishna says, Shraddhavan Mayo Purushaha. The living entity is made of faith. So the more faith we have in Krishna, the more perfection we can achieve. There's not some dogmatic class or anything. You can actually see, even for the basic person like who just received Srila Prabhupada's books, he doesn't know jack squat. If he simply applies what he's reading in that book, and when he sees that it works, naturally his faith in Krishna will increase. Naturally. It's a very simple thing. It's a very simple thing. I remember even when I was 19, I was new, and unfortunately, being, having demoniac blood flow through my veins and having the mind of a demon, I was very much attached to meat eating. I was very much attached to eating meat. But then I remember there was like this cart which would sell the favorite kind of abominable food that I would like to eat, and I remember I had read in somewhere in Prabhupada, I had just met the devotees or something, and I had read in Prabhupada's book something about, attaining a higher taste, and, if you make a sacrifice for Krishna, then Krishna will give you that higher taste. I remember I had $5 in my pocket. I thought either I could go and like the food stand was right here, on one block, and 2 blocks over was a Harinam, and I could hear the kartals, and I could see, okay, the devotees are there, and this cart is here. And I thought to myself, I was there, like, if I go there, these people are going to give me, like, khichdi without salt. I swear to God, like, if, the prasadam was so bad. It was really bad, thinking, oh man, either I can, like, eat this, which my tongue really likes, or I can eat that. And this Swami Prabhupada is saying that if you make a sacrifice, and I thought, I remember I made this prayer to Krishna, and I thought, all right, Krishna, I'm going to make this sacrifice, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And I remember I went, and I immediately, the first thing I did, I gave the $5 to Mathura Pran Krishna Prabhu, and then I think he gave me a Bhagavad Gita, or he gave me some book, and I said, can I please have some prasadam? And I had that same, like, on a mundane platform, not so palatable khichdi, and that made all the difference for me, and it made all the difference, and I sat and from that day on, I didn't eat meat. And it was a big thing, making that sacrifice and putting that faith that okay, Swami Prabhupada is saying this, like a good pious Hindu was like, okay, was Swamiji is saying this. I think I read like in the Science of Self-Realization something. I don't remember which book I read, but I think it was a Beyond Birth and Death, some book like that. And then I was like, okay, Swamiji is saying this, maybe I can try and, apply. And I was just speaking karmi, with no qualification. But it worked. It worked. Even on the most basic level, it worked, So the more faith we put in Krishna, that we'll attain the supreme peace. The more faith we had. And that's why Prabhupada's books are so potent, That's why, some people may ask, what do you love the most about Srila Prabhupada's books? And I remember Siddhanta Prabhu asked me, and I was thinking, what I really love the most about Srila Prabhupada's books is like his fidelity to Bhakti Siddhanta. Like his firm conviction, his firm, complete surrender and loyalty to Bhakti Siddhanta. And Bhakti Siddhanta means the proper devotional conclusions of the Vedic literature, and also means Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur himself. So Prabhupada's attachment to Bhakti Siddhanta is actually what makes his purport so powerful. Prabhupada's attachment to his spiritual master, Prabhupada's attachment to the words of his spiritual master, and him repeating what he had heard from his spiritual master and embellishing it with his own realization is what makes his purports so powerful that they stand way above and beyond any Vedic literature that has been produced. May I dare to say so? May I dare to say so? Why? Because Prabhupada is predicted in the Srimad Bhagavatam. There's this verse where Srila Prabhupada is predicted. Tad vag visargo janataga viplavo. Yasmin pratish. Okay, I don't know why I don't learn the pronunciation right. I guess you can chastise me for this. Tad vag visargo janataga viplavo. Yasmin pratishlokam abhadavatyapi. Did I get it right, Vishnu? Okay. Naman anantasya yashon kitani yat shinvanti gayanti grinanti sadhavaha. This is the motto. Okay, you can say it's the motto of Christian life. It's also the logo of Christian life is there. But Prabhupada is predicted in this verse. On the other hand, this was like a great realization of my glorious spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. He said, this translation is, on the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc. of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation full of transcendental words directed towards what? Viplavaha. Viplava means revolution. Directed towards what? Directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. Srila Prabhupada is predicted right here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Show me in the history if there's been any person who translated these Vedic literatures, and the translation of this and the distribution of this Vedic literature has created a revolution in the lives of this world, impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. One person, can we think of? Can we think of one person? Therefore, Srila Prabhupada's books are the supreme-most Vedic literatures. Supreme-most. The most important Shruti, Smriti, Purana, everything, Srila Prabhupada's books are the topmost. Prabhupada's books are the gold standard for destroying doubts in the hearts of the living entities and establishing Krishna as an irrevocable fact. There is no literature like Srila Prabhupada's books in the whole world. There is nothing. Nothing can compare to Srila Prabhupada's books. We have to understand this. And when we understand it, and when we put our full faith in Srila Prabhupada's words, then what happens? Krishna says over here, he says, Tasmad ajnana sambhutam hritsthanam jnana sinatmanaha chitvainam samshayam yogam atishto tishta bharata. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight. We can be armed with the knowledge from Srila Prabhupada's books. We can be armed with this knowledge. And then, when we are armed with this weapon of knowledge of Srila Prabhupada's books, then we can actually stand and fight. This isn't really, this fourth chapter is so amazing. Transcendental knowledge is such an amazing chapter. Yoga sanyasa karmanam jnana sanchinna samshayam. Chinna samshaya, you see? And there's this, if you look at this, if you break up this word from here, to hear. This is actually a name of Lord Vishnu in the Vishnu Sahasranama. And His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj gave a 4 series lecture. Four lectures on this. Chinna Samshaya. Very amazing. Very, very amazing. Amazing series of lectures. I strongly recommend all devotees hear it. I think I'm probably on my 4th round of hearing all the 4 series. This seminar that Bhakti Vikas Maharaj gave. Such an amazing series of lectures. One who acts in devotional service, announcing the fruits of his actions, and whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, is situated factually in the self. Thus he is not bound by the reactions of work, O conqueror of riches. So we can see this over here in this material world. There's so many doubts. There's so many philosophies. Like yesterday, this fool came into the temple, and he was preaching that God knows what nonsense he was saying. Basically, that black people are actually God, and the amount of melanin you have in your skin, then then if you have more melanin, you're more favored by God, and if you're white, you're unfavored by God, or some kind of nonsense like this, But then, I wanted to ask him, you see, I'm darker than him. I was darker than him. So I have more melanin than you, then you should listen to me. Why are you not listening to me? That they don't like to accept. Then their philosophy is actually that initially the whole world was only black people. And then what happened was there was one black scientist who wanted to see what would happen to the world if you suck out all the melanin out of a person's skin. And then thus the first white man was created, and he was evil, and then he started doing these crazy things, and that's why there's so much evil, and that's the gist of their philosophy. So then when someone told me that, I asked him, so the black man created this guy, and he's the cause of all disturbance. So actually speaking, according to your philosophy, the black man is the root cause of all evil. But then I'm just then when I said that, apparently I'm too contaminated by white people. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? I just completely smashed your philosophy in front of your eyes. What the heck? And I think these people read the King James Bible, right? That's what they read. Oh, they read something else. Okay, anyway. But whatever, it's so it's so stupid. Their whole philosophy, their whole argument is so stupid, It's so dumb. It's really, really. But they don't want to accept it. They don't want to accept it. Why? I literally completely, thoroughly smashed you. But you see, there's no, they've taken a vow to be stupid. That's the thing. It's literally the definition of, what is that, chewing the chewed words? What is that? Matirna Krishna Paratasvato va. Mitopi patita graharvatanam. Adanta gobir vishadam tamishram punas sharvita charvanana. That initially, living entities are stuck, they do not want to surrender to Krishna. Therefore, they hold on to one kind of sense gratification. And when you hold on to one kind of sense gratification, along with holding on to one kind of sense gratification, you hold on to one kind of philosophy. And then, being in this material world, for as long as we've been in this material world, we have taken a vow to be stupid, and we want to simply chew what has already been chewed. It's the same old stupid philosophy of somehow establishing the bodily conception of life. Somehow or the other. Therefore, Krishna comes down to this material world to give us a knowledge with which all doubts can be erased. All doubts can be erased. All whatever misgivings we may have, they're completely gone away by hearing the bona fide speaker of the absolute truth. When we hear the bona fide speaker of the absolute truth, then our misgivings are completely cut to pieces. That's why what does Krishna tell Arjuna? Maya shakta manaf partha yogam yunja madashraya asamshayam samagramam yata gyasasti tachranu. You see? All Krishna is asking Arjuna to simply listen. Arjuna, simply listen. The Supreme Personality of God has said, now, hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. All you have to do is hear. You have to hear. You have to hear the message of the absolute truth. And whatever doubts are there, they need to be cleared off. If we simply hear the message of the absolute truth, then we'll be completely purified. We'll be purified. Our misgivings will go away. They'll really go away. And you can see this over here in the Sanskrit also. Maya asakta, asakta, from the word asakta comes asakti. That we have this amazing level of attachment to devotional service, right? So what are the different stages of bhakti? Sadhu, bhajana kriya, sadhu sangha, shraddha, bhajana kriya, sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is always there, I guess, in all the aspects of. Okay, yeah. So there's sadhu with shraddha, then there's bhajana kriya, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nivriti, nishta, ruchi, asakti, bhava, and prema. Right? All these are there, right? And asakti, Krishna is saying, you will attain asakti to me by doing what? Just here. If you just hear, you will attain asakti. Krishna is saying this right here in the Bhagavad Gita. What do you say? It means like great attachment. Right? So initially, Shraddha is having faith in the process of devotional service. Bhajana Kriya, Sadhu Sangha is having the association of devotees. Bhajana Kriya is performing the activities of what the sadhus ask you to do, performing devotional service. Then bhajana kriya, and then anartha nivriti is the removal of unwanted things in our heart, which bind us in this material world. Then nishtha, which means firm faith. Then nishtha, then ruchi. Ruchi means to have a taste, and asakti means to have great attachment to Krishna. And bhava means like the ray. You can see when the sun is rising, you can see the first few rays of light. It's like the first few rays of prema entering, and then you finally attain prema. You attain Krishna prema. So, when all these things are happening, we can understand over here that Krishna is saying, just by hearing from Krishna and hearing from a bona fide representative of Krishna, we can get asakti. This is amazing. Krishna is offering us here, right here. Krishna is offering us this. You'll get asakti. You'll get this pure love for Krishna. And you see, up to the point of Nishtha, we are running away from Maya. But after the point of Nishtha, we are running towards Krishna. It's very amazing, actually. It's very beautiful. Krishna is offering us this. This is really amazing thing. Krishna says in the Bhagavatam, it's 3:16:7, where Krishna says, Yatsevaya charana padma pavitra renum sadhya kshata kilamalam pratilabdha shilam nashrir virakta apimam vijahati yasyaha preksha lavartha itare niyaman vahanti. Lord continued, because I am the servitor of my devotees, my lotus feet have become so sacred that they immediately wipe out all sin. And I have acquired such a disposition that the goddess of fortune does not leave me. Even though I have no attachment for her, and others praise her beauty and observe sacred vows to secure from her even a slight favor. Prabhupada's purport here is so amazing. It's so amazing, actually. This is like a great jewel, The relationship between the Lord and his devotee is transcendently beautiful. As a devotee thinks that it is due to being a devotee of the Lord that he is elevated in all good qualities, and just see, what does Krishna think? Krishna thinks that it is because of his devotion to the servitor that all his transcendental glories have increased. Krishna thinks that because of my devotion to my pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, my transcendental qualities have increased. In other words, as a devotee is always anxious to render service to the Lord, so the Lord is ever anxious to render service to the devotee. The Lord admits herein that although he has a quality that anyone who receives a slight particle of the dust of his lotus feet becomes at once a great personality, this greatness is due to his affection for his devotee. Just see what Krishna is saying. Such are the great devotees coming in our Guru Parampara. Ihara Paramahamsa, Gaurangira Nija Bhamsa, Tandira Charane Mama Gati. Ami Seba Udasina, Name Titi Dandidina. How does that end? Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. That all the Paramahamsas, all the devotees who have been mentioned, Ihara Paramahamsa, all the Paramahamsas that have been mentioned are what? Gaurangera Nija Bamsa. They are personally of the same Vamsa as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They belong to the same family as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gaurangera Nija Bamsa. Tandera Charane Mama Gati. The lotus feet are my only hope. The lotus feet are my only destination. Ami Seba Udasina. But as far as I'm concerned, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying, Ami Seba Udasina, I have no attachment for the lotus feet of Krishna and devotional service to him. Therefore, I found Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. That's his humility. We obviously know there is his humility. And never in our wild dreams will we accept that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has no attachment to the lotus feet of Krishna and performance of devotional service. But just see how Krishna is talking about his pure devotees. How Krishna is talking about his pure devotees like Shukadeva Goswami, who are very expert in giving us the nectar of pure Krishna consciousness by their transcendental narrations of Krishna. Just see how nectar it is. Just see how amazing it is. Krishna is saying, it is because of this affection that I have for my devotees that the goddess of fortune does not leave him, and that only one but many thousands of goddesses of fortune engage in his service. In the material world, simply to get a little favor from the goddess of fortune, people observe many rigid regulations of austerity and penance. The Lord cannot tolerate any inconvenience on the part of his devotee. He is therefore famous as Bhaktavatsala. And then, of course, Bhaktavatsala, there's a series of 14 lectures that my spiritual master gave, on this name. I strongly recommend devotees hear it. It's very nectarian, actually. It's very, very amazing. I think I should get on round 2 of that. And before this is a very amazing verse. There you go. Just see how important it is for us to hear, about Krishna. It's so amazing. Anyone in the entire world, even down to the Chandala, who lives by cooking and eating the flesh of a dog, is immediately purified if he takes bath in hearing through the ear the glorification of my name, fame, etc. Now you have realized me without doubt. Therefore, I will not hesitate to lop off my own arm if its conduct is found hostile to you. Who is Lord Vishnu saying this to? The four Kumars. He loves his pure devotees so much that he's willing to lop off his arm. Although my servants made a mistake, my dear Kumaras, it is my fault. It is my fault. Therefore, I'll lop off my arm and give it to you. If you find that, if you find that'll be sad. And the Kumaras are thinking, who is this person? What is he talking? They're so amazing. Who is this person? They never seen. Can you imagine, Vishnu coming to you and talking? How bewildered you will be. This person is so beautiful. What the heck? And he wants to give me his arm. He's playing mind game. What is this? They're completely shocked. And just see, we can, some people want us to bathe in the blood of Jesus, but here Krishna is asking us to bathe in the blood. Not bathe in the, please. Krishna is asking us to bathe. Krishna is asking us to bathe in hearing. Through hearing through the ear, the glorification of his name, fame, etc. See, Krishna is asking us to do that. It's way better than bathing in the blood of anyone. I promise. Anyway, sometimes when the Christians mess with me and they start oh Jesus, I say man, I'm Christian too, man. They say, do you know my name? Do you know my name? Nick. Usually when Nick is around me, he's most enthusiastic about it. Nick, tell them my name. Nick, tell them my name. Nick, or I ask, I'll be always flakes on me. He doesn't tell. My name is Black Jesus. I came back black. Jesus is coming back, right? Jesus came back black. I bathe in the blood of Jesus and I just say stuff like that to them, and they just get so they do not want it. They reject me on the spot and do not want to have anything to do with me. But we can see this over here that Krishna wants us to bathe, through the ear in the glorification of Krishna's name, fame, etc. Krishna wants us to bathe in that. And the purport, this is really amazing. Prabhupada's purport is so amazing, actually. It's really, all purports of Prabhupada are really amazing. Real purification can take place in human society if its members take to Krishna consciousness. That is the only way. Whose fault is it? Israel or Hamas? Whose fault is it? Both people's fault because they're mass slaughtering animals. Both people's fault because they don't have faith in their scriptures. Both people's fault. You can cherry pick one section, do this, do that. Both people's fault. Who's the bigger demon? Well, that's for the demons to decide. But as far as we're concerned, because they're both slaughtering animals on both sides, they're being slaughtered by animals. In a society of animals, someone was asking Srila Prabhupada, these terrorists are so bad, and Prabhupada said, what can you expect? In a society of animals, sometimes they're ferocious animals. So ferocious animals are there. That's all. But bottom line, if you stop eating meat, if you stop mass slaughter, you will not get these kinds of reactions. People will hate it. So how can you say it's not this side's fault? How can you say it's not that side's fault? Well, we are telling you it's both sides' fault. It really is. The minute the consciousness is purified, then then you really want a solution, you want to be peaceful. Bhoktaram jagatapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantam richati. Take to this peace formula. Accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna, Allah, whatever you call him, Yahweh, or whoever. Accept him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Understand he is the proprietor of everything. Understand that, all sacrifices are meant to please him. And above all, understand that he is everyone's dear friend. Then you'll be happy. But that they should take. This is clearly stated in all Vedic literatures. Anyone who takes to Krishna consciousness in all sincerity, even if he is not very advanced in good behavior, is purified. Understand this. Sometimes devotees may have discrepancies in their behavior here and there. But you see, he is purified. A devotee can be recruited from any section of human society, although it is not expected that everyone in all segments of society is well behaved. As stated in this verse and in many places of Bhagavad Gita, even if one is not born in a Brahmana family, or if he is born in the family of Chandalas, if he simply takes to Krishna, he immediately becomes purified. I'm looking for this, a particular thing. Yeah, there you go. Krishna is so kind. The conclusion is that if one takes to Krishna consciousness with all seriousness, he is to be understood as already purified. And Krishna is ready to give him protection by all means. Krishna is ready. Krishna is ready to protect us by all means. Simply, we should not have doubt in the orders that we are receiving. We simply move on. If we march on, then Krishna will afford us all protection. The Lord assures herein that he is ready to give protection to his devotees, even if there is need to cut off a part of his own body. Krishna is willing to even do that for the sake of his devotees. Just see. Who can be more kind than Krishna? Who can be more merciful than Krishna? Krishna is willing to do this for us. This is then the nectar of the Srimad. Isn't this the most amazing thing you've heard about the most amazing person? Isn't this so amazing? This is what we want to give to people. Enough of your garbage literature. Take to this. There's so much nectar is there. Everything, all your needs will be fulfilled. What more do you want? And look at this. I do not enjoy the oblations offered by the sacrificer, the sacrifice in sacrificial fire, which is one of my mouths, with the same relish as I do the delicacies overflowing with ghee, which are offered to the mouths of Brahmanas. You heard that, Mitravan? You heard that? Yeah. It's making sure, You heard that? Okay. So, who are Janardhan Krishna, who have dedicated to me the results of their activities and who are ever satisfied with my prasad. Hey, listen. That's what the Supreme Lord is saying, okay? I am the master of my unobstructed internal energy, and the water of the Ganges is a remnant left after my feet are washed. That water sanctifies the three worlds along with Lord Shiva who bears it on his head. If this is Krishna, oh my, look at what he's saying. If I can take the dust of the feet of the Vaishnava on my head, who will refuse to do the same? Who will refuse to do the same? Just see, this is Shukadev Goswami. Who will refuse to do the same? Can we imagine what Krishna... We cannot understand. This is so amazing. The difference, I'm looking for this. See? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. There you go. Look at this. The Lord says that although He's a predominating factor of the internal energy, and although the material world is sanctified just by the water that has washed His feet, He has the greatest respect for the Brahmana and the Vaishnava. When the Lord Himself offers so much respect to the Vaishnava and the Brahmana, how can one deny such respect to such personalities? Isn't this amazing, Prabhupada? This is Shukadeva Goswami. This is why could out of all the Mahajanas who attained perfection by hearing, right? Who attained perfection by deity worship or by worship? Archanam? No, I think it says Lakshmi Devi, right? Lakshmi Devi, okay. Who attained perfection by? Are you sure? Padasya. Oh yeah, Lakshmi Devi is Padasya. Who attained worship by Archana? Perfection? Mitravan, you're the Pandit. Janaka Maharaj. Okay, Janaka Maharaj. Okay. He attained perfection by Archana. Then, by offering prayers? Prahlad Maharaj. Then, what do you say? Smaranam. No, really? Akrura? I was saying Gajendra anyway. Gajendra also offered perfection by offering prayers. Huh? Mahajanas, yeah, out of the Mahajanas.
There's none that says Prahlad Maharaj perfected himself by praying.
You sure?
It doesn't talk all about.
Yeah. So we can see that Gajendra offered, he by offering prayers he attained perfection, right? Then, who offered perfection by Kirtan? Vyasaki. Yeah, Shukadeva Goswami. So we can see this over here, that Vyasaki, Shukadeva Goswami, he is one of the great, and he has attained this perfection. And the Krishna is so pleased with this. You found the verse? What is it? What's the verse, Madhavan? Okay, just send me the thing. I can, what's the verse number? 22.126.
22:136.
How do we search it then?
You can do it. I think. Can you not? Just look up Akrura prayers.
Just give me your phone. That'll be better. So we can see over here that, so Maharaj Parikshit attained perfection by hearing. Shukadeva Goswami attained perfection by speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj attained perfection by remembering the Lord. Lakshmi Devi attained perfection by massaging the transcendental lotus feet of Mahavishnu. Maharaj Prithu attained perfection by worshipping the deity. Akrura attained perfection by offering prayer to the Lord. And Vajrangaji. Who is Vajrangaji? That's right, Hanuman. Attained perfection by rendering service to the Lord Ramachandra. And Arjuna attained perfection by simply being Krishna's friend. And Bali Maharaj attained perfection by dedicating everything to the lotus feet of Krishna. You see, these are all the amazing devotees, But we can see Shukadeva Goswami. He attained perfection by kirtan. And kirtan is our means for deliverance. You can see this over here, and I'll read 2-3 more verses. The Brahmanas, the cows, and the defenseless creatures are my own body. Those whose faculty of judgment has been impaired by sin look upon these as distinct from me. They are just like furious serpents. Where is the other one? Okay. On the other hand, they captivate my heart, who are gladdened in heart. Now look at this. Krishna is such a poet. They captivate my heart, who are gladdened in heart, who their lotus face is enlightened by nectarian smiles, respect the Brahmanas, even though the Brahmanas utter harsh words. So when we take saucy lies, the Lord is pleased. I can explain this verse, right? They look upon the Brahmanas as my own self and pacify them by praising them in loving words, even as a son would appease an angry father, or as I am pacifying you. Chandan, you should bookmark this verse. you just see where he's saying, on the other hand, they captivate my heart, who are gladdened in heart, and who their lotus faces enlightened by nectarian smiles. Respect the Brahmanas, even though the Brahmanas utter harsh words. And keep that, huh? And then, where is this? And what's amazing over here? Lord Vishnu is telling to the Brahmana, to the Kumaras, they look upon the Brahmanas as my own self and pacify them by praising them in loving words, even as a son would appease an angry father, or as I am pacifying you. He's taking a subordinate position to the Kumaras. You see? It's so amazing. Lord Vishnu. These servants of mine have transgressed against you, not knowing the mind of their master. I shall therefore deem it a favor done to me if you order that, although reaping the fruit of their transgression, they may return to my presence, and the time of their exile from my abode expire before long. So he knows how to hustle his way, and he gets what he wants, of course. And okay, this is it. Even though the sages had been bitten by the serpent of anger, their souls were not satiated with hearing the Lord's lovely and illuminating speech, which was like a series of Vedic hymns. The Lord's excellent speech. There's this beautiful verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhu, I don't know if you can find this. It says, Krishner Vachana Madhuri. If you can find that, that'll be amazing. It starts off with Krishner Vachana Madhuri. So, the Lord's excellent speech was difficult to comprehend because of his momentous import and its profound significance. The sages heard it with wide open ears and pondered it as well. But although hearing, they could not understand what he intended to do. They were completely awestruck, like, who is this person? What's he speaking? The four Brahmana sages were nevertheless extremely delighted to behold him, and they experienced a thrill throughout their bodies. They spoke as follows to the Lord, who revealed the multi-glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through his internal potency, Yoga Maya. I'll just read this 2 more verses. The sages said, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are unable to know what you intend for us to do, for even though you're the Supreme Ruler of all, you speak in our favor as if we had done something good for you. You see, how can we understand how amazing of a person Krishna? Doesn't this make us want to really read the Bhagavatam more? It's so nectar. Huh? Doesn't it want us to distribute the Bhagavatam more? It's amazing, actually. What's more amazing than this? Oh my Lord Chaitanya. Oh Lord, you're the supreme director of Brahminical culture. You're considering the Brahmanas to be in the highest position is your example for teaching it to others. Actually, you're the supreme worshipable deity, not only for the gods, but for the Brahmanas also. Anyway, this nectar keeps flowing and flowing and flowing in the Bhagavatam. Just wanted to read this one verse. Krishner Vachana Madhuri. Well, I can read this. Okay. Antya 15:20. Krishner Vachana Madhuri. Nana Rasa Narmadhari. Krishna Vachana Madhuri, Nana Rasa Narmadhari. We can sing this. You know how to sing it? Krishna Vachana Madhuri, Nana Rasa Narmadhari, Tara Anyaye Katanaya. And we can sing it we can sing in the Guru Puja tune, we can sing it in so many tunes. And the Chaitanya Charitamrita, every verse you can sing it according to one of the tunes of our bhajan, of our Vaishnava. And I was really I was doing that. Do you remember Vishnudeva Prabhu and myself, when we had first gotten 594 West 152nd Street, it was just me and him staying in 594. When we had first moved in on that auspicious day, we moved in, and then we would go by the river, Hudson River. We would sit on the bench, and me and him would be reading Chaitanya Charitamrita and discussing it. And when we were doing so, I would pull out a pair of kartals and we used to chant all these verses and that was. Do you remember? That was so nectar. We used to do this. We used to both read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we used to really churn the nectar. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It was so amazing. So anyway, Jagatira Narira Kane, Madhuri Guna Bhandi Tane, Tani Kane Ra Pranayai. The sweetness of Krishna's joking words plays indescribable havoc within the hearts of all women. His words bind a woman's ear to the qualities of their sweetness. Thus there is a tug of war, and the life of the air departs. Krishna's transcendental body is so cool that it cannot be compared to sandalwood pulp or to millions upon millions of moons. It expertly attracts the breasts of all women which resemble high heels. Indeed, the transcendental body of Krishna attracts the mind of all women within the three worlds. The fragrance of Krishna's body is more maddening than the aroma of musk, and it surpasses the fragrance of the bluish lotus flower. Anyone seen a bluish lotus flower before? I think it's not here in our. If it enters the nostrils of all women of the world and making a nest there, thus attracts them. Krishna's lips are so sweet when combined with the camphor of his gentle smile that they attract the minds of all women, forcing them to give up all other attractions. If the sweetness of Krishna's smile is unobtainable, great mental difficulties and lamentation result. That sweetness is only the wealth of the gopis of Vrindavan. What is that? Hridayar bolele keba, dai tera dashire seba, gopi prana dana kata kirtan. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says this. This is one of my, I guess this is my favorite quote of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Hridayar bolele keba, dai tera dashire seba, gopi prana dana kata kirtan. Do you know where that's from? Another one? Like, is it from Sajjana Toshini? Yeah. So, we can see this over here. Look. Vrajanari, where is that exactly? Shobha. Vrajanari Ganera Muladhana. Okay, so Muladhana or Pranadhana is the same thing. Hridayar bolele keba, dai tera dashira sheba, gopi pranadhana kata kirtan. Somebody whispered to me in my heart. That's to be Krishna. Hridayar bolele keba, dai tera dashira seba. The service of Sri Varshabhani Devi Daita Das, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, is to reveal to the world Gopi Pranadhana Katha Kirtan, to do Kirtan of the wealth of the Gopi's heart. And that is what this verse is speaking about. So Prabhupada's books are Gopi Pranadhana Katha Kirtan. So we should go and distribute these books widely. We should tie a lot of books widely, to be distributed widely, okay? It's book production, book distribution, it's teamwork, make the dream work, So, we gotta make this work and somehow the other distribute Srila Prabhupada's books widely. Give the entire world the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. Give them the nectar of Srila Prabhupada's books. So, and that way we will honor Charanadeshna Prabhu. So I'll end the class here. If anyone has any questions or comments, we can take them now. We usually give turn to one of the senior men and then anyone? Prabhu, you have anything? Anyone else? Yes, Mason? Ratina janmi loke neta.
So this is about something you mentioned earlier in the beginning. It was about more about the ethics, I guess, kind of that goes into the decision with the Brahmanas, the Brahmanas providing disciplic knowledge to the Nazis on weapons, for money. I guess, can you speak more on that?
Well, Kali Yuga, is degraded, so they gave. That's all. Simple.
So it's just, that's that.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately, as Kali Yuga enters, purity reduces, and that's what happened.
Fair enough. Okay.
Huh? Yeah, and also that's right. In the Varaha Purana, it says that demons will especially take birth in the family of Brahmanas. So.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
And then also, I had one more. Is that okay?
Go for it. Go for it.
This is on the speculation and philosophy of those with incomplete knowledge. So you said have the tinge of Mayavad. So it's. I know you said that we don't hear them, but is it more that you won't hear them, or that you just won't accept the words that they say? Because I thought in order to debunk somebody's theories.
I mean, that doesn't mean if they start speaking, we shut our ears. And I mean, that's. We could do that also, we don't listen to them. We may hear them, but we don't listen to them. There's a difference, You can hear some random people speak something, but we don't listen. We don't take it to heart, We don't think, what these people are saying is also true. Now, someone may say something, we can debunk their philosophy. But that's how.
Okay.
Okay?
That was it. Sorry.
Okay, Mataji? Yes. Mother.
So I don't understand like the Hindu thing. So is this Hindu culture? You know, because some people say they Google Hindu temples and this comes up. So I don't understand Hindu. If you know.
You can read Science of Self-Realization, page number 108, Krishna Consciousness, Hindu Cult or Divine Culture. Page 108 on the softbound Science of Self-Realization. Okay, and then you'll get clarity. And if you still don't get it, then we have a group, you can ask questions on it. Is that okay?
I don't think Google has like a category for Hare Krishna temples, so just
Yeah, that's also there. Yes, Prabhu? Vishnu? Yeah.
Where can we find this description of these different stages of devotional service that you're mentioning?
Madhurya Kadambini. It's a book. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also. Chaitanya Chaitamrita also is there. If you want, I could pull it up and give it to you. Okay.
Also, during Guru
Hold
Maharaj,
on 1 minute. Devyani Mataji, Topaz Mataji, y'all have any questions? Okay, I go for it.
you speaking about doubt. Guru Maharaj also said in the lecture, it says, to doubt means is it impossible to be a theist, and the atheists, they condemn themselves on being doubtful. They think it is a very good, great quality not to believe what they cannot prove. So like on books too, you'll hear they be like, is this about God? Is it about God? They be like, yes. I'm like, oh, I'm good, or I don't believe that crap. You know, they would just be
Yeah,
a lot
okay.
of puffed up people.
All right. Anything else? Yes? Yeah.
It's just one last thing.
I think it's off.
How do I turn this thing on?
Oh my God. Just Chandan, yeah.
I have the same problem.
That's amazing.
Sorry.
They didn't teach you that in school?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, are there actually any stories or history, I guess, of Krishna actually severing a limb? This is just like,
No.
okay, no? I was just wondering.
There's lots of stories of Krishna severing others' limbs, but not his own.
That's what I figured. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyash.